Live. Hello. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all doing well. Hope everybody is doing fantastic. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, one and all. This is Tuesday here at the Political Spotlight. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining us. If you can, please do all of those things that we like to ask you to do that we shouldn't have to ask, because I hate saying it and it takes time out of the show. Share the show, comment, do all of those things. We appreciate it. If you're new here, we have some YouTube things over here for you to do. And if you're not new here, then you know what you should be doing. You should be hitting that like button right now, so then we can get into the show and you don't have to mess with it. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So apparently we have a lot of different people specifically waiting on different things, thinking that I was going to talk about, I guess, different things, while completely ruining all of our plans. Elected officials, can you believe it, started acting a fool and really just messed up the way that we were planning. So I had one direction that I was wanting to go with tonight's show. Tonight is the 56th episode of the Political Spotlight. And I had a direction that I wanted to go. I think some people in Winchester had a way that they wanted me to go with the show. I think some people in Henry County had a way that they wanted me to go. Of course, it's the municipal election, and a lot of stuff is heating up right now. The election here in Muncie has been dead quiet all year, and then all of the sudden, the election has just started kicking off with some craziness. So people in Muncie want me to talk about these things. And while all of this chaos has been going on, the Delaware County commissioners snuck right in under the radar and said, hey, we know that you guys are running a municipal election here. And we know that there are lots of people that need to be on the forefront, but we are tired of being quiet. We want to be stupid too. We want to engage in the stupidity as well. And so, ladies and gentlemen, just as it goes, the Delaware County commissioners, there are 3 of them, better known to most as the cowboy kids and their sleepy sister. They snuck right in under the radar and just completely went insane back about 15 days ago, just getting brought to my attention today, actually. And it's a pretty big screw up. And so we're going to be talking about that for the majority of this show. That being said, I still do have news from Henry County front. I do have news from the Muncie front. And I do have news from Winchester. Straight out of the gate, though, here's the thumbnail for tonight's show. The county commissioners are doing what? With who? I needed to get that clip, but I think it would have probably gave us a copyright strike. You're doing what? With who? But, if you know, you know. So here's the thumbnail. But straight away, we're going to get into the Winchester news. And then I would like to ask you as Winchester people to hang out and watch the rest of the show. It's not really exciting. It is exciting. It's not exciting. It's bizarre. It's not bizarre. It's just par for the course when dealing with Winchester. So, a little bit of an agenda and a way that we'll plan the show out is, first and foremost, we're going to do the Winchester news. Then I'm going to go into the main course, which will be the Delaware County bizarreness. And then from there, I will then deal with Henry County's news. There are two things that I need to talk about from Henry County. One of them being the police action shooting from, I guess, last night, and some Sproles news about the lawsuit. I told you guys I would do some checking and get back with you. And then we will end the evening with a little bit of Muncie dribble that I can end the show with. So first and foremost, tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I have some news about everybody's favorite on-again, off-again District 4 counselor, tardy, hooky counselor, Lisa Friend Teal. Now, her name was Lisa Friend for the longest time. She recently got remarried. She goes by Lisa Teal now. It's very, very sad because I, since about 2015 or 16, have been wanting to use the phrase, we must unfriend the Winchester City Council. I just think that that's brilliant. I wanted to use that in 15 or 16, but then in 2019, when that 2019 election cycle came forward, there was actually somebody that was running in that district that was actually, if you can believe it, worse than Lisa Friend. So I had to make a very horrible decision. I had to either stay out of it, which I can't do, or I had to lay down with the dogs, and that's what I did. I decided to help Lisa, and we worked a campaign together. Now, she will not admit that now. I have all of our text messages, our pictures of group chats, recordings of phone calls. So, she doesn't have a leg to stand on in the he didn't help me debate, but I don't really care. It's not like I'm trying to win in a medal because I helped Lisa. Yes, Lisa does spell her name rather weird. As Alva has pointed out, Lisa doesn't spell it like every other Lisa. I'm Chris with a K, so who am I to talk? But Lisa spells her name M-I-A, and that spells Lisa. So, of course, I want to get this out here for the record. Everybody needs to know that in the state of Indiana, an elected official, it doesn't matter if you're a sheriff or if you're the governor or if you're a mayor or a counselor or a clerk or a city clerk or a commissioner, you only have to work 1 day a year in order to keep yourself in good standing. So they literally allow you to work 1 day a year, and you could screw off the rest of the 364 days and get paid, and they would be perfectly fine with that. Now, there are not many people who are ignorant enough to try something like that. That's really, really stupid. Like, really, really stupid. There was a school board member in Anderson that he got elected, and then he was like in some kind of an accident, and so he was gone for like the next year. He had been there for a couple of weeks, and then he didn't show up again for like another year, and then he was better, and then he showed up for like a meeting, and then he didn't show up for like the next 2 years, and then he ran for re-election, and people couldn't believe it, and everyone just assumed he would have been beat, but they re-elected him. And he came and he served for like a meeting or two, and then he just didn't come for the remainder of his term. And I don't know what's happening here.
Sorry, get rid of me.
Okay.
I have to go out to the asylum and do let-in, so I'm
okay.
remote.
Yeah, you're fine. Okay. It's because she popped up. I get it. So, they do this. Matter of fact, that gentleman, I think all told, has only served like, a handful of days across like 4 terms now, and they keep electing this guy. So the fact that Lisa hasn't been in office for nearly 7 months is very bad. Delaware County Councilor Ryan Webb, we're the thick of tonight's show is going to be your county government. Right now, I'm just giving the people of Winchester a little bit of news that I found today before we get into the thick of your story of your government. Again, for those that are just stumbling in late, apparently, here's the thumbnail for tonight's episode. County commissioners are doing what with who? Episode 56. And then that story down below there, botched roof repair leaves single mom out thousands of dollars. That's an interesting side note to the story. All right, let's get into it. So Lisa Friend appeared in the meeting last night, and Lisa Friend, Teal, whatever you want to call her, appeared in the meeting last night, and everybody was shocked. Of course, I played a little snippet of that meeting for you. I hope that everyone has went to civic duty and watched that meeting, that full meeting, and watched the gloriousness of it all. Lisa didn't have a warm reception, okay? And so it is what it is. No, Jeff is tomorrow night. Jeff's tomorrow night, Wednesday. So we don't know, because Lisa won't communicate with people. She tries to tell people that she doesn't live in, butt stank, Montana, or whatever, wherever it is. She tries to fool people. She tries to tell people that she lives here, but she's working there. And just various weird things. And she doesn't apparently know that we have eyeballs and that we can research things, because back in March, when she stopped showing up to council meetings, she forgot that apparently, we could research things. And we found this really bizarre article from the Cutbank, Montana Pioneer Press. It says Cutbank, Montana Pioneer Press welcomes new publisher, Lisa Friend Teal, Cutbank Pioneer Press. We've talked about this here. Look, listen to what this says. Moving away from your hometown is a big decision for many, but for me, it is much more than that. Born and raised in east central town of Winchester, Indiana, I literally lived on the same block my entire life. So packing up and moving across the country was a huge decision. I can just imagine that she was playing the Dixie Chicks while she was doing this. Who's ever struck out on your own? Or whatever that song is, you know? I can't even begin to imagine. She was like twirling around, letting her hair spin in the breeze. I can just imagine how horrible it all must have been. Sorry, I was looking for something here. Let me see if I'm sharing the right thing. Nope, I need to share this tab instead. Sorry, just for a second. If you guys are communicating with me, I am off the oh yeah. No. The singing is getting ready to increase as we read this and we find out that she's like heading out west, and you know, she's going to be you know, whatever. What's the what is the name of the oh yeah, Wide Open Spaces. That's God, I wish I could play songs on here. That's I hate YouTube for that. I hate YouTube for that. Yeah, who doesn't know what I'm talking about? Who's never left home? Who's never struck out to find a dream and a life of their own, a place in the clouds, a foundation of stone? You know, Lisa probably pretended that she in her mind was a 19-year-old girl running out west to start a life where she was going to become some kind of major news publisher. You know, at Cutbank, she had all of these the Hallmark Channel episodes in her mind where she's like, big town Winchester reporter is driving to an important meeting in California, and she wrecks off the road in a faraway little area named Cutbank, Montana. And her car needs to get fixed, but the transmission that they need won't be able to get flown in for another week. Shucks. So while she walks down the main streets of this little Cutbank town, she finds a really handsome doctor who loves her for her and teaches her what it means to live out under the big Montana sky. I'm sure that's what she was like pretending. Now, she's also married at the same time. So keep in mind, I don't know how that plays into it. That's really strange. But it says Cutbank Pioneer Press welcomes new publisher. Deciding if you should move so far from home, you stop and think, really think hard about it. I don't know why she didn't win a Pulitzer for this. I realized my kids are grown and don't need their mama as much as they once did. I think not being able to call up my best friend and say, let's go shopping, or how about not attending my alma mater sporting events where I used to cheer on the home team. But after being, I oddly find that her husband is not mentioned anywhere in this letter. Well, I thought when I woke up in a pack to leave to Montana that I thought I was missing something. And when I waved goodbye to my husband, I thought, why is my husband not next to me? After being here in Cutbank, I have found that the next chapter of my life here will allow for me to do those same things. I had a lady give me some good advice before I left home in regard to making new friends. She said, You have friends out there just like here. You just haven't met them yet. This advice has proven to be so true. Here's a little history about myself. Oh my God, I can't even do that. Let's see. Does she even mention anything in here about being an elected official? My newspaper career began in 1994, beginning as an advertising representative, which I was mediocre at. I was promoted to advertising manager that I was mediocre at, and then to publisher, which I was mediocre at. For 5 years, I learned the ins and outs of running a newspaper, which I was mediocre at, so that I could do anything needed to produce a daily paper that I was mediocre at. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. By this time, I had been a member of the Winchester City Council for over 5 years and was proudly serving the citizens, making those tough fiscal decisions for the greater good of the community, like taking their money while I'm living in Montana. Serving as a publisher and a city councilman wasn't a popular decision with a few people. Yeah, because it's kind of just completely ignorant. It's just completely breaks down the the fourth estate and all of that. That's not how it's supposed to work. But I chose to be fair and true to both entities. Gag me, okay? So this was in March of 2023. So now all of a sudden she's popped back into Winchester Life, and it's like, wait a minute, are we not supposed to think that, like, what are you doing here? She like literally walked into the meeting like, hey guys, while I was here, I left a drink on the table. Does anybody know where it was at? And everybody's like, Lisa, you left 8 months ago, man. 4 people have died since you've been gone. Nobody, the name of this is not even Winchester anymore. It's Thank God Lisa's Goneville. That daily newspaper. The only daily newspaper that comes out twice a week. Ooh, geez. Okay. So, because she sat in that meeting last night, I was really scared that they saw through her bullcrap and they booted her butt back here and that she was not supposed to be there anymore. So, because she is still an elected official and because she is a candidate running for office, I felt that it was pretty important for the citizens of District 4 to know just what in the hell is going on with their elected official that they've been paying to sit in Montana figuring herself out for the last 8 months. So I called the cut bank, boot, stank, whatever it's called, Montana newspaper today. And I said, hello, could I speak to Lisa Friend Teal, please? And the person said, she's not here right now. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, why is she not there right now? You know when she'll be back? And they said, well, she'll be back in about a week. And I was like, oh, okay. So she still works there? And they said, yes. And I said, where's she at? Like, it's none of my business. I can't even believe this is obviously a very small town because they felt like they needed to tell me. They said, she's in Kansas. And I thought, oh, Toto, we're not in Kansas anymore. She's not certainly in Kansas. I'm like, wait a minute. She's in Kansas? Like, did you just tell me she's in Kansas? And so I said, well, ma'am, I got a question. does she have a supervisor that I could speak with? And they said, the owner of the paper. And I'm like, okay, is the owner of the paper in? And she said, no, he's not in. And I said, oh, okay. And then the person started getting like, why are you asking all these questions? Far be it from me to leave somebody in the dark. So I said, well, here's the deal. I'm asking you all of these questions about Miss Teal, Mrs. Teal, Mrs. Friend. I don't know who she is, if she's married, if she's Miss, Mrs., whatever. Lisa, I'm asking you all these questions about Lisa because she is not, if you think that she's in Kansas, she's not in Kansas anymore, Toto. She was in Winchester, Indiana, like 1,600 miles from Kansas, last night while sitting at the council table in Winchester, where she is currently still an elected official. Did you guys know that she is an elected official in Winchester and still taking monthly payments twice a month from the taxpaying citizens of Winchester? Did you know that? She's just listening. I said, if you want to verify anything that I'm talking, I can send you guys pictures. I can provide you with an internet link. I can tell you where to go to find it. And I told her, I directed them right to my channel, my pictures. I directed them to Josh's channel, and I said, there she is. And I said, it's really peculiar because you told me she'll be back. So I assume she's coming back home. She's currently running as a candidate on the ballot for an election in November. Like November in a couple weeks, November. Hoping to win so that she could be sworn in January. And that lady was like, and I was like, so I'll provide you with my name and my number, and if you or your supervisor or anyone wants to call me, they are free to do so. I gave them a way to get a hold of Josh's channel to see the video. I told them how to get to my social media so they can see the picture that I posted. But they had no idea where she was, what she's doing, what's going on. I feel like she may be a spy. We may have found the United States' greatest weapon. And we have just about bungled it up. Terrorism is going to spike because we about called her out. Dude. Yeah, the council members could have voted to have her removed, but they didn't do anything. The Republican Party could have done something, but they chose not to do anything. So I'll be honest. Some of my cohorts and I decided that we would think about doing something and taking action. But I'll be honest, we did what we would do for political gain, because what I want is to make sure that she is gone and that the Republicans don't get to appoint somebody even worse than her. So we wanted to make the best position possible so that she would be in a position where she will be removed or won't be able to maintain what she gets or wins. Hopefully, if that would be the case, God forbid, and whatnot. And I think, like I said, Eric is dealing with all of that right now. Not doing anything is the MO for Winchester. Yes, Lydia Carpenter. Now, I know last night I was talking to you about Joan Ashley, everyone. Lydia Carpenter is actually a candidate that's running for Lisa's position right now in this same race. So's Joan Ashley. I have not spoke to Lydia Carpenter, but I will send Lydia Carpenter a message after this video because I'm hoping to have Lydia Carpenter on next week when I have all of the Winchester people on to talk to them all, so you guys get to meet these people who will be on and get a chance to hear from them. And I gotta say, I hate it in this race. Same thing I said last night. Lydia is wonderful, and Lydia would be great if she won. Joan is wonderful. She would be great if she won. This is a horrible decision. And these two ladies are working well together. They've got no beef with each other. They're working to say whoever wins wins, as long as Lisa does not win. So it's awesome. All right, cool, Lydia. I will get with you and we will get a time set up. So that's awesome. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's what's going on with Lisa. It's disgusting. It's ridiculous. She not only is she screwing off on a whole bunch of people in Winchester and taking money that she's not technically working for. It's disgusting. Who knows what in the heck she's doing in Boot Cut, Montana. Sounds like she's running some kind of weirdness there too. I don't know what she's supposed to be doing in Kansas, but I hope if she is truly a spy, I hope they can cover all of the craziness that I created today. If she is not a spy and she's just the worthless turd that I've always thought that she's been, then I hope we can flush her down the toilet and down off into the non-existent sewer that is the rest of her life in Boot Cut, Montana. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Dateline Winchester. All right. Now moving on to the big story out of Delaware County. This is where, and keep in mind, just briefly, she's going through all this dumb shit and screwing the city for $5,000. Yeah, that's the thing. It's not even like she's making the money. Listen, Muncie city councilors don't make any money. Okay? The city councilors in Muncie don't make any money. You definitely don't make money if you're a Winchester councilor. She's doing this literally. It's causing her life more drama, because if she walked in and resigned today, it's 9:35. If she walked in and resigned in the next 10 minutes, I would never speak about her dumbass again. She would never hear the name Kristopher Bilbrey again. This is harder on her life, being in this position. I've told her that before, and she doesn't get it. Like she and I go round and round when we talk, and she just doesn't get it. All right. Delaware County. This is insane. So, Delaware County, I had Ryan Webb on a couple a month and a half ago, and he said something in passing that I don't think a lot of you probably heard or understood, or maybe even thought about. The Delaware County government used to do something where they would live stream their meetings in two places at one time. They would start their meeting at 9 a.m. and they would live stream to their Delaware County government page on Facebook, and they would live stream to their YouTube page. So citizens that wanted to watch on YouTube could watch on YouTube, and citizens that wanted to watch on Facebook could watch on Facebook. Now, for some unknown reason that makes literally not one bit, not one iota of bloody sense, or it makes no sense whatsoever, they said, we're going to stop live streaming to Facebook. And all they did was started live streaming to YouTube. This is the Delaware County Commissioners. I don't know why they're doing this. It's absolutely stupid. Stupid. So a lot of people that were watching, commenting, interacting, they have stopped watching. Most people have given up. I even talked to an elected official earlier who said, I don't watch the meetings anymore. Hell, I forget about them. I don't get an update. And I used to get a notification. And they're like, I don't get that anymore. Okay. And it's like, that's not okay. So they changed how they live stream their meetings. Someone who likes to stay up to date on what's going on in county government, I got to be honest. It's been hard for me to keep up with them too, because I don't get that ding and that alert that I used to, because I never watched on YouTube or on Facebook anyways. I would go to YouTube on my computer. I would turn the volume on YouTube because the YouTube feed was always the real speed, the real time, and Facebook was always a few minutes behind, I found. And so I would go and watch on YouTube, but then I would comment. I would take on my phone and I would comment on Facebook on my phone. Well, now that I don't get that, and I could set it up to probably get the notifications on YouTube, but I just hadn't done it. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do that now while I'm talking, so I start getting that. But I did not get the notification for this last meeting Monday morning, October 2nd. So there was a meeting on the 2nd at 9 a.m. and it started like it does. And for the majority of this meeting, nothing of any importance happened. It was just a regular standard meeting. It was what it was. Nothing happened, and it was nothing. However, almost right smack dab in the middle of the Delaware County meeting, Delaware County Commissioners meeting, right smack dab in the middle, the commissioners brought forward an emergency that they were having. Okay. And now when you hear your local government say, we're having an emergency, you're like, oh crap, what's an emergency? Well, ladies and gentlemen, their emergency was the fact that they need a new roof. They need a new roof on the new jail that they just literally started using like 2 or 3 years ago. I think they started putting people in it in 2021. They moved the county offices out there in 2021. No, I am not, Kate. I am not 1,000%. They are in need of a new roof. And listen, this is such a need that they're literally calling it an emergency. Now, what's funny about this is I talked to Councilman Ryan Webb earlier about this, and he was like, he and I both said the same thing. Like, this is not an emergency. They've literally been, I've got video of the sheriff's department, like the week that they were moving prisoners there, taking actual video of rainwater, not Donald, but actual rainwater pouring into the building because it was coming from the sky down onto the roof and somewhere through a hole or a crack and into like jail cells and stuff. And I'm like, whoa, what? That's like literally sitting there with a car salesman and saying, I want to order the new Dodge Charger. I want me a new Challenger. Well, I want that Challenger right there. I'm going to order it, but I don't want that one there. I want one. I want to order it, and I want to design it, and I want the wheels and everything, and I want it to come off the line. And they do that, and you're like, I don't want them to drive it. I want them to put it on a truck, and I want to see it come off the truck, and I want to be the first person to put the first, they got to put like 3 or 4 miles on it, but I want to hit mile 10 in it. And they drop it off, and you get inside of it, and you tell your girlfriend or your wife or your whoever to get in the driver's seat, and he opens the driver's side door, and the door just falls off. That's similar to what we're finding out here. Like, we just went through this big hubbub about this freaking new jail, which was just asinine from the beginning, and that was the fault of the Cowboy Kid commissioners, because Jimmy King wanted his name on a building. He wanted his name on a building. Now, I don't think that he realizes what it means, the fact that he has his name on a building that is now a jail, but at one time was an educational institution. That is the last thing that I would want my name on. I would, in no way, want my name on a building that at one time was used to educate the masses and is now used to punish those same asses that we didn't educate. Failed to educate the masses, now punish their asses. That's kind of like the motto here. All right? Yeah, the Henry County Jail is having some of those same issues. When I heard that in Henry County, I was like, what is going? I literally heard Sproles in Henry County say, we need to open another pod. We're experiencing overcrowding. Well, here, Sproles, stop arresting people for driving while suspended prior, you nitwit. Don't take people to jail for arrest and release offenses, you idiot. Only a newbie FNG does that. Quit doing that. That's his problem. But Delaware County Jail, man, like, those commissioners knew they were going to get heat if this was wrong. Okay? So this has been a problem that Delaware County has been dealing with for a while. The situation with the roof. And I've never heard what they were going to do about it. I would not call this an emergency, but they decided that they wanted to call it an emergency. And now we're getting ready to watch this little segment from the meeting. I want to let everybody know, and I've said this before, so I'm not going to go into major detail with it, but on the screen it says, what did the Cowboy Kid commissioners and their sleepy sister do now? And I've always told this story. For the longest time, I called them the Cowboy Kid commissioners. And the reason that I called them the Cowboy Kid commissioners was because I was writing a lot of the stuff, and in my mind, it was never cowboy. My mother's father, which is a grandfather of mine, I don't really call him a grandfather, I just call him my mother's father. It's a long story. But my mother's father calls, you have cowboys and you have fake cowboys. And cowboys are called cowboys, and fake cowboys or wannabe cowboys are called cowboys. Okay? So I don't know how in his mind he spelled cowboy. I don't know that he ever did. He just always said it. But when I thought about King and Henry, and when I started coming up with names for them, I just thought, oh yeah, these guys, they think they're true cowboys. And then it clicked. I was like, oh no, they're fake cowboys. They're cowboys. So I didn't know how to spell that because I didn't know how people do it. So in my mind, this is how you spell it. So for everyone that I've trained for the cowboy kid commissioners, they're really cowboy kids. Okay, so that's what that is. Delaware County Councilman right here saying, we as a council appropriated $1 million in ARP money last year to repair the roof at the new Justice Center. Now, I remember when you did that, Ryan, and I thought $1 million to repair the roof at a new oh, Chris, that's so funny that you say that, because before we get started, and I want to ask the people from Henry County, who did your jail? Because while you made a joke there, Chris Munner, you may or may not know this, but the company that did all of the behind the scenes work for the Delaware County Jail was none other than GM Development. Now, GM Development, ladies and gentlemen, is Greg Martz. Who's Greg Martz? Oh, he's the cousin of Aaron Clark. So let that sink into your little brains for a moment, if you would.
So they've got a 3-year-old building, basically, that needs a new roof, but we're going to give them a $9 million firehouse. It has water inside it too, not just green.
Yeah.
Oh, this is
yeah. But keep in mind, so you know what we're talking about. Keep that in mind. You know what we're talking about here. So it's Aaron Clark's cousin, who, ladies and gentlemen, currently right now is wanting $9 million to make one fire station. One fire station. Okay, so let that all sink in for a moment. Henry County, help me out. Let me know, did Greg Martz of GM Development have anything to do with your jail? If so, we got to talk. I need to find that out. So, the county appropriated $1 million last year. I don't know why the commissioners didn't deal with this last year. I have no clue why they didn't deal with this. I have no clue. But on Monday's meeting, these commissioners decided all of a sudden they needed to call this an emergency situation. Okay? So stand by here as we get ready to find out about this together.
Justice Center bids, the bids for the roof for the Justice Center.
Mr. President, I would first of all request that you take a look at, resolution number 23-20 to declare an emergency to obtain bids, and then we can obtain the bids as a process.
Now, listen, I got to do some research into this because this seems really strange to me. Did you hear what he said right there? Yes, Ryan, absolutely. Oh, yes, James King and I have a long lifetime of hatred for each other. James King doesn't like that I call him out, and I don't like that he is a bunch of bad stuff that I'm not going to say right now. Okay. Well, Mr. Brooks, the dude down here on the end, who is like the puppet master pulling the strings, he used to be a commissioner, and I cannot stand this guy. He's an attorney. He's their legal counsel, but he runs the show. He's in charge. As contractors with insurance and bonded over $20 million, we warrant. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. You know, I have no idea. Who knows? Who knows what kind of cluster goes on with Greg Mart's ordeal? Yeah, City of Muncie. Oh, let's do several $18 million projects with this clown. Hey, Rose Selvey. Hey, Aaron Clark. Roger Overby and anybody else up there telling me what a wonderful person Greg Martz is and how great a work he does. The Justice Center that was just remodeled completely into a state-of-the-art jail. Rhonda DeFries was who hired in? Greg Martz? Is that who you're talking about? Was Greg Martz hired in? I mean, Greg Martz was, I don't know. I'll have to go back and look. I don't know if they picked him or he bid or what. I don't know how that happened. I'll have to go back when we go all the way back and look at the jail. I don't know. Oh, Brooke was appointed by the commissioners. So he used to be a commissioner. John Brooke used to be a commissioner. Okay. And then when he left the commissioner's office, he's an attorney, as you know. I think he used to, didn't you and him date at one point or something? They went to school together. They didn't date. I'm kidding. That's my mom. But yeah, that's hilarious. I can't stand John Brooke. John Brooke is a turd. John Brooke, now as the attorney for the commissioners, he was your attorney. See? Well, that's what's wrong with you. John Brooke is an idiot. And he might have done very well for you in whatever you needed an attorney for at the time you had an attorney, but what he's doing here is way crazy. I heard the new fan is doing dabs and gummies while making important decisions. Okay, we're getting too far off of it. So here's the deal. John Brooke just said, here's what we're going to do. You guys vote on an emergency resolution, and then we can get the bids. Okay, so that means what these people are going to do is they're going to vote on the emergency resolution, and we don't know how the vote's going to go. Maybe they'll vote and the emergency resolution will pass either 3-0, or maybe it will pass 2-1, or maybe it won't pass. Maybe it will fail 1-2 or 0-3. And then, shucks, we won't be able to call out and get bids in the next coming couple days and weeks and months. So let's find out how this vote goes, okay? Because listen to what he said again. I want you to listen to what he said. I want you to listen to what he said again, okay?
First of all, request that you take a look at resolution number 23-20 to declare an emergency to obtain bids, and then we can obtain the bids.
I want you to look at this resolution and to vote on it, and then if it's voted on, we don't know if it's going to be voted on or not. There's 3 commissioners here. They could have discussion, and they could decide they don't want to do that. But if they do, then we can have this emergency, and we can call off and do the bids, and we'll maybe do that in November, December, January sometime, okay? Let's see what happens here.
As a process.
Very good. Resolution number 2023-020, Board of Commissioners declaring an emergency to obtain quotes for the roof repair work for Delaware County Justice from the Rehabilitation Center.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion to approve the resolution and a second. Roll call, please.
Ms. King, yeah. Ms. Reagan,
Yes.
Ms. Henry.
Yes.
No discussion? Like, Henry didn't even read it. He mumbled some words as fast as he could. Resolution. King says, motion. So I second that. And then they voted. They read it and they voted. They voted and they read it and voted in quicker than seconds. Hell, from the point that I told you to listen to what John Brooke was saying was 1836. They did all of that in 20 seconds. Okay, well, I don't like that. Damn. Was that vote already decided before this meeting even occurred? Did they talk about that? Did Brooke write the resolution as the attorney and then call King and say, hey, you're going to vote for this? And then pick up the phone and say, hey, Henry, you're going to vote for this? And then say, hey, Sherry, you're going to vote for this? No one talked about this. They didn't talk about why we need an emergency, what declaring an emergency means, how this changes anything. There was nothing. Okay, well, at least they go on to other business or they'll say, okay, well, now that we voted on this, we're going to call off for bids and we'll get bids in a couple of weeks. And next time we come back, they have 2 meetings a month. So they meet every 2 weeks. And maybe in 2 weeks or in a month, we can talk about these bids. All right. Oh, yeah. Yeah. You're absolutely right, Webb. Okay, let's listen to this and let's hear what happens. Let's hear what they do now. This is amazing.
Okay, now we can go through the bids.
Okay, now we have bids.
Now,
I'm gonna say something about the bids first.
okay, now we have bids. Who ran the bids in really fast after that vote? How do we have bids? How do we have bids? What in the hell? How do we have bids? What if they would have voted no? What if the vote would have been no? Hypothetically speaking, what if it would have been no? All right, so let's listen to this. Who's this guy? Where'd he crawl out of?
Steve Foster, building superintendent.
Oh, it's Steve Foster, building superintendent. Okay.
Me and John originally talked about it. Only reason I'm saying that because 2 people put in for a 30-year shingle. I asked for the bids to be for a 50-year shingle. So 2 of the bidders, that's why you'll see 30 and 2 of them and not.
Wait a minute. He's talking about these bids and he knows what they put in for. He's already looked at the bids. They already know what the bids were put in for. 2 people put in for 30-year shingles. I asked for a 50-year shingle. Well, what's the hell is a 50-year shingle, okay? Shingle. There's no such thing. 50-year shingle. But, okay, good. So he asked for 50-year shingles, but 2 companies put in for 2 companies put in for 30-year shingles. So what's that mean? Wink, wink. We want 50-year shingles. Wink, wink. 2 companies put in for 30-year shingles. So, Okay, let's listen to this.
All 3 of them. So, but I'm looking for the 50-year shingles is what I asked all 3 companies.
But I'm looking for the 50-year shingle. That's what I ask all 3 companies.
To give me a bid on.
Oh, okay.
I thought we were supposed to have them today.
We have them. We have the bids.
What? Did she just tell on them? Did she just? I thought I was told that we were going to have them today. I thought. Wait a minute. I was told we would have these today. To which they say, "Oh, we do. We do. We do have them today. Shut up, Sherry. Go back to sleep." Like, for real. For real. Why? Let's just go on.
I'm right here. Yeah,
Oh,
those bids.
Oh.
Since you declared an emergency, then the normal bidding process is suspended. Steve went out and got quotes.
Since you declared, and look at this guy that's got to be, I don't even know who this turd is. He's like, what am I a part of right here? Look at all these people. Shame on all of you for sitting there part of this. You don't even, no one knows what's going on. Nobody knows what's happening here right now. This is a monstrosity. Since you guys voted exactly 1 minute ago on the emergency bid process, we can now throw the bid process out the window, thank God, because we did it a week ago. So what happens? So what happens now that they voted on this, and now we can throw the normal bid process out the window? What's that mean?
Proposals from different vendors, local vendors, and all. Since you declared an emergency, then the normal bidding process ended. Steve went out and got quotes, proposals from different vendors, local vendors.
So get that? Yeah, you get the difference between a bid and a quote? You understand the difference between a bid and a quote? When you get a bid, you put out a bid sheet and say, this is what we want, this is what we do, and people can just come and get it. Maybe they get it, maybe they don't, whatever goes on, it is what it is. When you go and you get a quote, you
Kristopher, did everybody else lose him too, or is it just my feed? Oh, fantastic. We have lost Kristopher. That is wonderful. So I know we have some contractors in here. So can you guys maybe help explain what the difference is between a quote and a bid? So I did work all the time, and on a job that size, it would take me at least a week to prepare the bid. Yeah, he's gone. Oh, thanks, Stumblefoot, for taking him out. We'll get him back on here in a few minutes. I'm sorry, everyone, but I appreciate you putting up with me while we're waiting on Kristopher to come back. I bet it's that wonderful JD internet we got going on. Oh, here he comes. Hopefully, maybe, possibly. Is Kristopher back? What happened?
We got a problem with I was getting too excited. We got a problem with the computer. So I'm going to have to be on my phone just for a second, which I hate. But I'm going to try to get this reloaded and reconnected on the computer as soon as possible. But I definitely wanted to keep this going because this is something very important that citizens need to know.
Okay, so I was asking everybody because there's some contractors that we have that watch.
Yeah.
Talking about, and a quote, it's something you give for a job with the specs in hand.
Mm-hmm.
And if you put in a bid and hope that yours is the best, and the bid that you put in, make sure that everyone on your crew is properly paid.
Yeah. Yeah. And but there's definitely a difference. Okay. So,
I'm going to back out now.
okay. Yeah, no problem. Thank you. I hate this. Kate, can you pop back up for a second?
Sure.
Okay, because of this, it means I am no longer on able to share the video that we were watching.
Oh,
So can you share it?
where was it at?
It was the Delaware County Council meeting, October 2nd, and we were at 1943.
Is it Facebook or YouTube, sweetie?
What? YouTube.
YouTube. Okay.
Oh, and I'm just getting this in from my personal. Kate's my producer, but I have a personal agent outside of that. We all have them, but my personal agent is telling me that I am contractually obligated to say that while Kate referred to me as sweetie, there is absolutely no. We are platonic friends only.
What's the date on the commissioners meeting?
You asshole. Oh, no, you mean sweetie? Okay. Oh, sorry. Anyways.
Okay, fucktard. What's the date?
October 2nd.
Thank you. I'll have to switch up my terms of endearment.
That's a little bit of inside baseball.
County Commissioner meeting, October 2nd. The ads don't renew.
Happy birthday, Joey Simpson
Pause
again.
that thing. Okay, so I am sharing my screen. YouTube, share. Okay, now how far into this meeting?
1943.
All right, well, I've got 1940. It's too difficult to get
Okay, that works.
to the other. Come back here. Oh, it's so much fun switching screens. Okay, so you tell me. I'm going to stay up here so I can hit play and pause for you.
Yeah, okay.
So you want me to hit play?
Hit play.
Proposals from different vendors, local vendors, and I'll read those into the record right now, okay?
Thank you.
First one is Hockdale Roofing out of Eaton, Indiana.
Now, what was their name?
Hotdale?
Hockdale, Hochadel Roofing.
What?
I've got one for $275,850, 275,850, and another one for $227,800.
Pause it.
The 50-year and the 30-year.
Okay, so that's Hochdale, and Ryan. The difference between bids and quotes, for me, who's not for me, who's a government watcher, is, to me, a bid is something that companies will hear that the city or the county is wanting to do a job, and they have like a bid sheet, and the various companies will come and get that and put bids in, and they're sealed and they're secret, and you don't know till they're open. A quote is something that the government can go to individual places and say, you know, we want to go to you. We're going to see what you offer. We're going to go to you, see what you offer. We're going to go to you. So in my opinion, they went to all three of the names that we're going to hear. That's my belief. All right. Now, maybe there'll be something that proves differently, but I'm not too there yet. I don't know. I don't know what it's going to take for them to get me there, but I'm not there yet. I don't know what it's going to take. for me to get there. But right now, I'm of the opinion that they went to the three companies. I'll be waiting to see. I'll have to be asking questions. Now, from a contractor's position, I don't know what really else the difference between those are. What a bid and I don't how you would do things differently.
A quote's more of an estimate from what Brian was saying.
Sure.
Kind of their idea of what it would cost, potentially, what they're thinking it would cost. And a bid is more of a solid number. This is
a bid.
what
You're getting
going
more
to cost.
closer to like what? Yeah, because what you're doing with a bid process is you're hoping you're picked, and I mean with a quote you're hoping you're picked too. But a bid is normally a sealed process. So you're like putting you're not wanting to screw yourself, but you're also at the same time. I can stop talking into this for the moment. I can just lean in here to you because you guys are not talking into the microphone. That's hilarious. So basically, you're not, you're trying to not screw yourself, but at the same time, you're trying to, get your best amount of money out of it as well. So that's what's going on there, in my opinion. Okay, so they gave us a price of $275,000 and $227,000. Now there's a little bit of argument about what this is. Bids have everything down to the event, what, when, how, exact material, labor for everything. So it's very precise. So that's very, very crazy. So okay, now. If you can, go ahead and hit play.
Well, that's what I was trying to figure out. 275, probably 50.
That's what I understand him telling me. That's what the two.
227 is probably. Oh, yeah.
Him and Davis Construction both put in two bids for 50 and a 30.
275, 850 was for a 50-year roof. Okay.
Is this include the removal? You're leaving the roof.
Should be removal.
It'll be removal, replacement.
Right, tear off
Wow.
existing roof, inspect roof decking, and install synthetic felt, ice, and water eaves, valleys, and any high water flow area, aluminum drip edge, new pipe flashings and or valley flashings, new roof vents and ridge vent and Atlas Stormmaster shingles. The next one is Davis Construction.
All right. Number 2 is Davis Construction.
Davis Construction, 401 East 27th, Muncie, Indiana. The first one is $214,500, 214,500. That must be the 30-year. See if they got another one. Here is another one for 50-year. This is the 50-year. $224,000 even. 224,
All right. So the second contractor is Davis Construction, and it's 224 was the 50-year.
And then we have WeatherTight Roofing.
WeatherTight is the third.
Man, they at least made the envelope WeatherTight.
What a jokester.
It is, their bid is 236,642.40. 236,642.40.
Well, these are quotes. They don't have to be sealed. They're quotes.
I think, is that a 50-year for them? Okay.
Can you rewind that a little bit while I was talking through the price?
Where they out of.
Dollars even, 224,000. And then we have WeatherTight Roofing. Man, they at least made the envelope WeatherTight. It is, their bid is 236,642.40. 236,642.40.
Okay. So the third bid was
I think, is that a
236,000.
50-year for
The
them?
second bid
Oh,
was
okay.
224,000, and the first bid was 275. So if they go with the lowest bidder, that would be the second bidder at Davis Construction. But they don't always have to go with the lowest bidder. My interest will be what the commissioners will use to make their determination. So go ahead and press play and let's hear what they use to make the determination on who they pick.
Where are they out of?
WeatherTight is out of, that's a good question. Nobody puts their address on anything anymore. Must be
I'm
around
going down
Indianapolis,
below
because,
to
well,
see
the
what's
office
going
number
on
is a
with my Wi-Fi
317
while we're
number.
doing that.
Must be an address on there, too. Fishers, I'm sorry, I found one, Fishers, Indiana.
All right, pardon me, Alex, Grim WeatherTight Roofing, yeah, we're out of Fishers, I live outside Selma,
Okay.
and I have 4 of my team members. live in
Okay, so
Delaware
that
County.
guy's
I
there.
found it later on in the.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is it 236 for 50 or
236,642.540.
Pause it.
50 years?
So that guy, well, they don't always have to. No. Indiana law, they do not have to always use the lowest qualified bidder. There are exemptions to that. They can pick others outside of that if they can show reasons why. And they have to be able to show reasons why. Okay. Now, here's what's really interesting. We've got 3 bids. Hochdale, which I'm hearing from people is a good company. All right. They said 275,000 and some, 275,850 really. Okay. That's the first bid. The second bid is Davis Construction, and that's 224 across the board. And then this WeatherTech, which is 236,642. So if you go by the lowest bidder, it's Davis Construction. Now, is any of the other companies there? We didn't hear from Hochdale. We didn't hear from Davis Construction, but we did hear from WeatherTech. And they're a company out of Noblesville or Plainfield, they said, but the guy lives in Delaware County and he has other people live in Delaware County. So I like him. He was there. That's good. That's taking initiative. Let's see what other things they use to decide, who they're going to pick. All right, you can hit play.
Yes, that's a 50-year, I believe.
We are also doing a silver pledge warning through GAF, which is, we provide a 5-year labor warning, but the manufacturer provides a 10-year labor warning. And it's you have no betterment or depreciation on the shingles for the first 20 years. So if you do have a manufacturing defect, it would cover 100% all besides debris removal. And GAF does honor that. One of the ones firsthand is the Farmland Christian Church. As you're going into farmland, we just did that roof under a warning plan. That roof was installed in 2001. And they honored a warranty. Thank you.
I would, John, are all these,
Pause
you
it,
wanna
Kate.
look these over, make sure they're all,
I'm coming back in hot. All good for what's getting ready to be the whole test. 1, 2, test, chuck.
Oh,
Doobie.
oh, good. Are you going to share again, or you want to just keep play some
No,
keep some play?
where are we at time-wise?
We are at 24:38.
24:38. I'm going to take it to 24:36 on the dot. Here we go.
Okay. That requires you to share.
That right now.
Okay. So
That
I can
screen.
stop.
Share
Okay.
screen.
Awesome. Bye.
Bing. Goodbye. Thank you. Folks, we work like a very well-oiled machine here. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. All right, here we go. All right, this is going to be crazy. What's getting ready to happen here is going to be crazy. Here we go.
Make sure they're all in line.
I'll ask Steve to come over and take a look, make sure.
Weather tight didn't do a thirty.
No, they only had one.
No, I asked.
Oh, that's
if-
the one, okay, thank you.
So do know, just, I did most, all three of them did say that they would.
Listen.
Over, make sure the
In church, as you're going into farmland, we just did that roof under a warning plan. That roof was installed in 2001.
So this guy from Weathertight, who's here and talking, is actually like telling them, hey, this is other. I'm not only am I here and not only did I give you a bid, but I'm going to let you know of other jobs that we recently did. And here's an example of my work. Ba-bam!
and
Thank you. They honored a warranty. Thank you.
I would, John, are all
It's
these,
almost like they weren't interested in what he had to say at all. It's almost like it didn't matter that he was there, didn't matter that he was like a clean-cut looking dude, didn't matter that his bid wasn't crazy. I mean, his bid's only $12,000 more than the lowest bid. It's almost like it didn't matter at all. Okay?
you want to look these over, make sure they're all in line.
I'll ask Steve to come over and take a look, make sure.
So James King, right there, the brain trust that he is, he was just asking the attorney, who is not an elected official, to look these over and make sure they're all in line. Okay.
Weather tight didn't do a thirty.
No, they only had one.
No, I asked.
Oh, that's
if-
the one, okay.
All right.
Okay.
Sleepy Sister asks a question that does not even matter to anything. She says, they didn't do a 30.
So do know, just, I did most, all three of them did say that they would schedule with me and do it on the weekends and stuff like that, so we don't interrupt the courts and everything else. So that's a good
That's a
thing. So
plus, you know.
Obviously, Davis is the cheapest, quote. Do we want to, accept that quote upon Steve's approval?
Yeah, I'll make a motion, we accept Davis Construction on Steve's approval.
Second,
We have a motion to accept the Davis quote for the 50-year shingle, $224,000 even, and a second. Roll call, please.
Ms. King? Yes. Ms. Reagan?
yes,
Ms. Henry?
Yes. Thank you, Steve, for getting those. And John working on it. Appreciate it. Next is the Propio Language Service Agreement. John?
Yes, this is
Is
a
that over?
contract that Jamie Bain at the Health Department, has requested I review. It's, basically for translation services that, he needs
yeah.
because they run into some issues a lot of time with documents and that sort of thing. And so he looked on the internet.
All right.
Fine to me. I didn't
Now, what
see
I
a
want to
problem
do
with
is I'm
it.
going to fast forward here
And
and
I
let's see
didn't
if we
look
ever
at the
hear back
details about
from
payment,
the
but
building
I'm sure
commissioner.
other
Okay, let's hear if we ever hear
departments
back from him.
could
We're
add
going to fast
in,
forward this real
and
quick
maybe we
here,
could pick it up. because-
okay?
Yes,
Ms. Henry?
Yes. Denise for.
Thanks for your-
Great.
second,
So a motion to approve that resolution and a second. Roll call, please.
Ms. King? Yes.
First of all, I want to thank the commissioners for, during budget time, to help me get the employee. I really appreciate you guys going there. And then also want to thank Sarah and Pam and them. They worked during budget time, the hours they put in and what they done, I think sometimes somebody just needs to step up and say how hard they work, how much they helped me out, even during the year. I mean, Sarah coming into a brand new job, I think she done an outstanding job during budget time. And they just all work together good down there. I just don't think they get the credit
And
enough.
here he is.
I wanted to let you guys know.
Yeah, thanks, Steve.
Thank you.
We don't do that often enough, you're right.
Steve Foster, again, Building Superintendent. First of all, I want to thank the commissioners for during budget time to help me get the employee. I really appreciate you guys going there. And then also want to thank Sarah and Pam and them. They work during budget time, the hours they put in and what they done. I think sometimes somebody just needs to step up.
Is that all he
and say how
said?
hard they work, how much they helped me out, even during the year. I mean, Sarah coming into a brand new job, I think she done an outstanding job during budget time. And they just all work together good down there. And I just don't think they get the credit enough. So I wanted to let you guys know.
Yeah, thanks, Steve.
Okay, so he didn't tell us. And just for the record, so you know, he doesn't speak again in the meeting. So we don't hear if he approves this guy or not. All right, here's the situation, folks. The Delaware County Commissioners gave this bid to Davis Construction. All right. Now, I want to show you guys a clip from a channel. I want to show you guys a clip from a news organization. This is really important. So stand by here. Let me pull this up here.
ITMH now in one woman's effort to bring a construction company to justice.
ITMH Jasmine Miner is here with her words of caution to others. Jasmine.
Well, the woman I spoke to is a single mom who hired a company to fix her roof, but she says the company made it even worse and says she now can't afford the $18,000 bill to fix their mistakes. So she took the company to court, and ITMate learned she's not alone. It's supposed to look like this.
There's a strip here and a strip there and none over here.
Not this.
They ran out of screws and just didn't finish it.
Renee York blames Davis Construction.
Whoa, Davis Construction.
3 roofers out here to give me estimates. All 3 said it's a total disaster and it has to be taken off and totally redone.
The single mother of 2 paid Davis Construction more than $8,000 to get her roof repaired. She says a family member referred the company, but she now calls Melvin Davis, the owner of the company, a fraud.
Oh, Melvin
I
Davis.
asked him about his insurance
Melvin
company,
Davis.
and he just kept saying he didn't want to file a claim. Well, after further digging, he wasn't licensed, insured, or bonded.
Melvin Davis isn't licensed,
I'm
insured, or
looking for
bonded?
Davis Construction.
That is not here.
Turns out the address he uses on his contracts belongs to an entirely different business.
Seriously, about $17,000.
Wow. And Renee isn't the only one. ITMate spoke to another woman who says she had to pay $18,000 to get her roof fixed after Davis's work.
We get about 15,000 complaints. Many of those complaints are home improvement contractor cases.
The Attorney General's office confirmed to me it has one open case against Davis Construction, but was prohibited from sharing details or talking about Davis. But Scott Barnhart, Chief Counsel and Director of the Consumer Protection Division, did tell me proving a criminal act in these cases is harder than people think.
And very often that is in civil court, not in criminal court. Just because of the nature of the contract and the fact that there was some sort of agreement that was reached between the contractor and the consumer. It is difficult to bring these actions because lawyers are expensive.
York did take Davis Construction to court and won, but she still hasn't gotten her money back.
You know, I'm not going to say I don't cry about it sometimes. If my house were condemned, I don't have money for another house. I don't know what I would do. I would be on the street. I don't have anywhere to turn.
Well, York says Davis has repaid her only about $200. Court records show a judge has found Melvin Davis in contempt of court for not making payments. He's scheduled back in court next month for another contempt of court hearing. However, I've also learned today that Davis's attorney has withdrawn from the case. I reached out to Melvin Davis several times and he has not responded. I'm Jasmine Miner for Wish TV, wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook.
Eskenazi Health is hiring.
That's weird. What do we make of that? What do we know about that? Now, let me take you another step further. For all of you.
Who's he related to?
That's hilarious. For all of you that are not from Delaware County or Muncie, this next little bit is not going to have anything to do with this. But let me tell you about this for the people who are from Muncie. Kate just asked who he's related to, and he's not related to this guy per se, but he was friends with a man called Adrian Kurtz. And for those of you in Muncie that know that Adrian Kurtz and Melvin Davis and several others were in a ring where they were burning homes down, arson. They went to prison. They bilked money out of the millions of dollars out of a Coke company and did time in prison for this. I have no. I'm gonna kill Audie. Audie, I don't know what I'm on a show, bro. Hold on a second. Let me see what's going on. He needs to talk to me ASAP. So let me put this show on pause that's already going at 1 hour and 32 seconds. And let me see if he's going to tell me the exact same information I was just telling you all. Hold on. Yes. Yeah. I'm here. No. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Right. Yep. I'm not. Yep. I was just getting ready to. Yep. Yep. Right. Well, former, but yeah. But still, I mean, yeah. You're right. Absolutely. Yeah, right. That very well could be. Yeah. Yep. Oh, yes. All right, bye. So, the other issue is, yeah. The other issue is, no, I'm good with that. Turn this thing off. That's what. See, if I don't hear it, it doesn't bother me. And I should have turned it off before the show to begin with anyways. The other issue is, and this is why I was putting this off last, is that Mr. Davis and James King used to be stepbrothers. They're not now still, or I don't think they're whatever, but I don't know. So is there a conflict of interest there? The attorneys are going to say no. Look, maybe Are you serious? Did you not know that? Did you not know that? Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Yeah. So listen. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you about this. This is definitely something that should probably be examined. Like, did you see how they blew the guy off? Did you see how they blew the guy off that was there? Like, why wouldn't they have at least talked to that guy? As far as state law says, I gotta be honest, I don't know. Conflict of interest, in my opinion, is only people that are in your household that you're responsible for their bills. Oh, yes. Yes. Let me ask you, is there anybody else on here that knows that? Is there anybody else on here that knows that the parents got together at some point? I guess I know about James and family. I was 06 Southside. Very close to all these people. So I'm just saying this. The bottom line is the biggest issue here is that, in my opinion, the commissioners knew what was going to happen before they ever walked into that room. We need to vote. We need to vote on an emergency resolution so that we can get bids. He called it bids. He said bids the first time, but they're not bids. Okay, well, now that you voted on this emergency resolutions, the process of getting bids goes out the window, and now we're going to get quotes. Okay, well, wait a minute. I thought the quotes were going to be here today. They are. We've got them. They're right here. We've all looked at them. You haven't, Sherry, but everybody else knows what's going on here. Here, let me open these bids or these quotes. All right. All right. 275, 224, 236. I mean, this guy gave a serious bid. The guy that said 236, 642, 40, he knew down to the screw. He said 236, 642.40.
Well, Davis doesn't use screws, so it's fine.
Yeah, right. Davis isn't using screws. So I'm going to leave it on that. I just don't know what else to say about it. It is what it is. I mean, it's already done. It's a done deal. They voted. The council already put $1 million aside. Now, a good question I got is, why did they put $1 million aside if this is only going to cost, 236? If this is only going to cost $225,000, why did they put $1 million aside? Now that they've already appropriated the rest of that million, the commissioners the commissioners can now use the rest of that money however they deem fit, since the council has appropriated it. There is a rule within the ARP that says once it's appropriated, they can then use it. They had to have money for the change orders because they're going to tear out the roof off, inspect the plywood before they tear it off, and replace it. So I just hope the folks that get voted into right by the people. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's that. Now, moving on to Henry County. And look, I'll be honest. If you want to find out more about this, go to your commissioners' meetings. If you want to find out more about this, go to your council meetings. Talk to your commissioners, talk to your counselors. I know they make it hard. It's way harder than the city, but do it anyways. Call them, reach out to them, email them. You can do it. All right. Before we wrap up, Henry County. I talked to my attorney today. Last night, I had told you guys, let me pop this up here. Show you here. All right. Here is the motion. Defendant's brief in support of motion to stay proceedings. I'm not going to read all of this. This just says that John Sproles, they introduced it on July 20. Kristopher Bilbrey filed a complaint for declaratory and injunctive relief and damages. The complaint against John M. Sproles, the elected Henry County Sheriff, regarding a Facebook page, they contend that it's a personal page. Legal standard for stay of litigation. They talk about the reason why the stay matters. U.S. Supreme Court will soon be resolving threshold legal issues. I'm going to let you know these issues that will be coming before the Supreme Court will more than likely be coming before them in the end of this month, the beginning of next, and they should be ruled on by January. So even in this case, if we get a stay, if the judge says, yes, we're going to stay this until this, it's only going to be a couple of months either way. So this is basically delaying the inevitable for Mr. Sproles. There's no real reason for him to do this. It's completely asinine that he would do that anyways. So it is what it is. But he's asking for this because he wants the Supreme Court to rule. And based on these cases, I feel pretty confident that the Supreme Court's going to rule in our favor anyways. So that's what he's doing here through his attorneys. Now, I was unable to find out as of now if this attorney is an attorney that Sproles himself has hired, or if this is a county-issued attorney, meaning a insurance attorney or otherwise paid through the county. I still do not know, but I am trying to get that information because I think to me it makes a difference. Because I think what Sproles is doing is really going outside and beyond what he needs to be doing in this situation. It's just completely asinine. He needs to be unblocking me and everyone else that he has blocked and letting us access the page. Put the page name back to what it was, call it how it is, and use the page for good. Use the page to communicate to the citizens. There's no reason to hide from that. And if citizens have good things to say, they will say good things. And if citizens need to call you out, they will call you out. That's just how it goes at the end of the day. So I've not figured out who the attorney is per se, but we are working on that. So that's what this is. That's what this is here. All right. Next, I want to show you what our response to this looks like. Okay, here is our response, basically in opposition to the stay. And basically, what my attorney says is that this does not help or hurt Sproles in any way, one way or another, and that basically, there's no reason to do this. It's of so little time and so little importance that it's, to find out what's going on there, that this case can go forward. It does not hurt anything to do that. And he argues that out wonderfully. I tell you, Gavin Rose is fantastic. On top of this, the plaintiff is correct on the merits of his First Amendment claim. Then he is currently suffering irreparable injury that will only be prolonged if a stay issues. The sheriff's motion to stay proceedings should be denied. Standard of review, broad discretion in the stay proceedings as an incident to the power to control its own docket.
The long and short of it is my opposing attorney's client is an idiot. And at the end also says he's an idiot because he's using case law as a reference in a case that has nothing to do with this case.
Yeah.
So he's an even bigger idiot.
Right. Yes.
It was a beautiful big middle finger to Sproles.
Absolutely.
It was
Yeah.
a delightful read.
And yes, and Gavin put it wonderfully out there. As noted, it is the rare circumstance where a party will be required to stand aside while a litigant in another case settles the rule of law that will define the rights of both. There is nothing rare about the circumstances here, and there is no compelling reason for a stay. The sheriff's motion to stay proceedings should be denied. So that's what's going on here. My attorney, Gavin Rose, is absolutely a badass. One of these days, I am going to find a way to steal him away from the ACLU and put him on staff here and pay him lots and lots of money just to be involved in what we do here. One of these days. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us, unless Kate's got something right there.
I thought you said there was something about Muncie.
I'm gonna hold it off. I'm gonna wait till tomorrow. It'll go with after the Jeff interview, because I think the Jeff interview will go for a while tomorrow. So it'll be the main part of the show probably, because I imagine he'll talk for a while.
Okay.
I'll talk
Were
for a
you
while.
going to talk about the Pew Pew incident in Henry County?
Nah, we're getting late. I'll do that a little bit later on. It's not really a political deal. It's a sad situation. It was a police action shooting. Newcastle City Police Department shot a guy that was inside the home. And I was literally going to read through it as I talked about. I don't know anything about it, so I don't even have it pulled up since the shit died down. So we'll let that roll.
Just reminding you of things you had mentioned. So.
Yeah. Hey, no problem. No problem. I did forget about that one because I did not have that up. But all right, ladies and gentlemen, I will let you guys all know that we will be here. We will be here bright and early tomorrow, 9 p.m. We'll have it ready to rock and roll. We're going to be welcoming Jeff Robinson to the show. And if you are not happy with your government or what you're hearing here, folks, you have to get involved. Yes, I thank Kate for everything she does. Dude, literally, I was just sitting here going on and it told me try again, and I was like, what? Try what again? And so thank God for Kate and being here and keeping the show on, because if she would not have been here, it would have ended the YouTube, and that would be bad. And I want to tell you guys, we've never talked about this, but if for some reason we are ever on and like Kate's not here, or we get some freak accident where we all go gone, where like the system goes bad and it kills the feed, don't just say, well, he's gone. If we can get back on another way onto another YouTube feed, we will be back. So just keep that in mind if that should ever happen in the future. So anyone knows Sproul in on that joint SWAT team? Is that where he got his hard helmet? He was on the SWAT team. He is no longer on the SWAT team. He hasn't been on the SWAT team for a couple of years, which is crazy because he's only been on for a couple of years, but he's not on the sheriff. He's as sheriff. He is not on the SWAT team anymore. So, early voting is currently going, ladies and gentlemen. If you're interested in voting, you can go do that at your local county clerk's office. And, yeah, that's it. The postscript is, ladies and gentlemen, keep your head on a swivel. I'll be doing the same. You guys have a great, great, great evening. God bless each and every one of you. I will talk to you again tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern. Kate, Brandon, and I, we'll say see you later. Goodbye.